Kelly Ripa's emotional breakdown in response to Mark's heartbreaking prognosis has shocked and saddened viewers. Is there any way this will affect their future plans? Follow along as we delve into the touching details that have moved many people. The news is devastating. Have you heard it? Kelly Ripa's heartbreaking reaction to Mark's prognosis is a story you must not miss. Come along as we investigate how this news has affected them and their loved ones. When Kelly Ripa learns the reality about Mark Consulis's condition, she falls to pieces. It makes my heart sing to have you all as channel subscribers. Bye. The day has been just wonderful, I hope. Make sure you subscribe before we begin by clicking the icon. The moment has come for Mark to depart. At the same moment that his coffee grew chilly, his coat hit his sleeve. The ringing of his phone began. The number of the clinic displayed on the screen. Hearing the other end of the line made him abandon his carefree attitude. Very cautious and educated in how to break bad news without making people freak out. The tone was formal and distant. The tone of the voice softened with time. The doctor has returned your results, he or she said. We need to discuss a diagnosis. The impact of that one word, diagnostic, was like a shard of glass breaking. The phrase broke the customary quiet of a hallway on a Tuesday morning. Sitting on the bottom step, Mark paid no mind to his iced coffee. As the world of oncologists, tests, staging, appointments, and medical jargon started to engulf him, he felt his reality crumble. After many years of being together, Kelly's name had come to represent home. So he took a moment to compose himself and practice telling her the news. He made up his mind to tackle this obstacle in the same manner he had tackled their mutual fondness for comedy. During the morning broadcast, Kelly was in the kitchen, using a recorder to transcribe bits. Her singing was lively and well-structured. She exuded an air of calm authority as the sunlight poured in through the window, illuminating her features. Upon her arrival, Mark politely requested that she have a seat, as he understood that receiving bad news is more manageable when one is not on their feet. For a split second, she misplaced her clipboard and checklist. She kept her gaze fixed on him, picking up on his respiration and the quiver in his hand. Finally, with her voice scarcely audible, she inquired, "What did they say?" For the first time, there was complete silence on the way to the clinic. Music was not played. The city outside the window appeared unconcerned as it went about its everyday business. Time seemed to have shrunk within the car, a natural move that conveyed her love for him without saying a word. Kelly stretched across the console and took his hand. As he tenderly squeezed her fingers, he murmured, "I'll be okay." As a promise, he meant okay, but they were both confused about what that meant. The oncologist's words, which were both calm and practical, were equally, simultaneously comforting and horrifying. Biopsy findings, prognosis, therapy alternatives, tumor, and clinical context were the main concepts. It didn't take long for the jargon to seem too familiar. Nevertheless, statistics and survival rates weren't the exclusive points of emphasis. Emotional arithmetic was involved in family management, routine rearrangement, and parenting. Like learning a new script, Mark soaked it all up. As the family navigator, Kelly asked the tough questions. Kelly made a short statement from their living room that night. The location was unfiltered and unrefined. There was no effort to be severe, no prim and proper behavior, and no camera-ready polish. She was the one who let her voice crack. "Mark has been diagnosed," she said, "and we wanted to let you know about it first. Please know how much we appreciate your prayers and support while we get back on our feet." A press release was not issued. The need for space was fundamental to human nature. But after the word got out to millions, their private lives became everyone's business. There was a lightning-fast reaction. Many people left comments. The food was delivered right to their door. Their home was inundated with social media posts, emails, and bouquets of flowers. Even total strangers offered words of wisdom, experiences with worry, and ways to cope. Individuals with whom they had previously only ever communicated via video and audio recordings. Everyone in the neighborhood pitched in to help with things like running errands and dropping kids off at school. On the other hand, there was a background of remarks, assumptions, and rumors that develop around the periphery of a public tale. Kelly gracefully dealt with well-intentioned condolences, invasive inquiries, and painful emotions while jealously protecting her family's privacy. Therapy became an integral aspect of my everyday routine during the following weeks. Every detail of the chemotherapy sessions was meticulously prepared. Examining scans was similar to analyzing weather forecasts. The findings of the blood tests were handled with a clinically detached attitude. There were noticeable alterations to Mark's body. The Sunday mornings would find him physically drained and frequently sick to his stomach. Wrinkles appeared in his hair while he lay on his pillow. For a while, every mirror mirrored his altered reality. But strong reserves of affection existed among the little betrayals of the sickness. His beloved sweater was discovered and presented to him by a kind soul. One of his children had scribbled, "We love you, Dad," and left it over his bed, which he discovered. Kelly was hailed as a hero by the entertainment world for her remarkably approachable persona. The spotlight moved from exciting headlines to the strength of the human spirit as her real feelings made their way to the public eye. Being forthright and honest with their audience is something that Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa are known for. Their public displays of affection, reminiscences of shared family moments, and candid discussions about life make them a liked couple despite the fact that celebrities typically keep their lives private. Many were startled and horrified when Kelly Ripa showed the world how strong and vulnerable she was after her husband was diagnosed with cancer. Many were shocked to hear about Mark Consuelos' sickness, including fans, friends, and colleagues. Fans and industry insiders alike were stunned by the diagnosis, as the actor was famous for his work on All My Children and as co-host of Live with Kelly and Mark. Upon hearing Mark's unexpected diagnosis, the couple was understandably heartbroken. After discovering the truth, Kelly, who is typically seen as powerful and confident, felt an overwhelming outpouring of emotion. For many years, the pair had been an item, keeping their spirits up and their resiliency in the face of adversity throughout their careers. Of all the health issues, this one has affected me the most personally. During a heartfelt episode of Live with Kelly and Mark, Kelly reacted through tears, revealing her emotional turmoil. Kelly let the audience in on her weakness right before Mark's conflict started, infrequently encountered. She confessed with her words as raw as the anguish she felt for her hubby, tears streaming down her face. In an attempt to rein in her emotions, Kelly told the audience, "I just feel this incredible sense of helplessness." Her voice cracked. "For me, Mark is everything. Nothing like this has ever happened to him before. I have always been inspired by his unwavering resolve and power. What a tragedy." When she opened out about her fears, loves, and support for her spouse, it broke the hearts of people around. Without attempting to hide or minimize the gravity of the situation, she conveyed her emotions. When the audience saw her let her guard down, they could relate to the couple's struggles much better. The news of Mark's diagnosis marked the beginning of a challenging chapter for Kelly. They had to gather themselves as they ventured into the uncharted territory of treatment, recuperation, and keeping their family's normalcy. Not an easy feat. This revelation had a profound impact on Kelly's professional and personal life. A lot of attention was taken away from the show, despite her reputation for entertaining and engaging live presenting. Take care of Mark, their kids, and their extended family. That was their first concern. Kelly expressed her gratitude for the public's support at this difficult time in her heartfelt answer, noting that they were relieved to know they weren't facing this battle alone. She thanked everyone for their prayers and well wishes and noted that the love she received has been incredible. Even though Mark didn't want anyone to know how sick he was, they could still feel the emotional toll it took. Since Kelly was forthright about the difficulties of caring for a loved one, many others could relate, turning her tale into an inspiring one. In spite of the initial shock and sadness caused by the diagnosis, the story of the pair became one of resilience, perseverance, and optimism. Kelly helped Mark stay grounded by emphasizing their love and supporting him through tough times. Their bond, strengthened by years of shared experiences, provided inspiration to those going through tough times. Kelly and Mark later discussed the significance of maintaining an optimistic outlook in the face of adversity in interviews. The medical staff and his loved ones worked tirelessly to make sure he had everyone he needed during his treatment and recuperation. The value of love and teamwork in trying times was driven home by Kelly's tragic and emotive performance. Their love for one another and their family deepened as they dealt with the devastating news. The effect on spectators was significant. After hearing about Mark Consuelos' illness, Kelly Ripa had an emotional reaction that touched many. It wasn't simply that which evoked strong feelings in her. She showed a different aspect of the couple, that's all. Her candor and courage in sharing her suffering moved viewers. In the weeks following the original statement, everything became a bizarre divided reality. On one side was the well-lit Live with Kelly and Mark studio, a haven of comforting rhythms where familiar signals of applause remained lighted and coffee mugs were consistently filled. The opposite side of the coin was the treatment center's serene, impersonal atmosphere, where the only rule was the rate of drips to the number of white blood cells. Two very separate lives began to unfold for Kelly. Her smile was just as brilliant as before, if not a bit more constrained around the edges. But she was still the bubbly host in the morning, to show the world, and maybe even herself, that everything was still okay. She would laugh at Mark's jokes, perhaps a little too loudly. But as soon as the cameras stopped rolling and the producer shouted clear, her shoulders would slump, and the adrenaline would fade, leaving her with a state of extreme, bone-deep tiredness. As for Mark, he treated his treatment with the same methodical dedication he gave to his exercise routine. Chemo was more like a brutal workout that he had to go through, not an adversary. He would say, "It's just reps, Kel," perhaps with a hoarse voice due to the drug. "We simply need to navigate the representatives." There could be no denying the bodily toll, though.